A major theme in To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee is the racism and discrimination against black people, this being applicable in the trial where Tom Robinson, despite being completely innocent, was given the verdict of guilty because of his skin color, whereas if a white person was accused of the same crime against a black woman, he would most likely be off the hook. The setting of the book is in the 1930s in Alabama. Today, slavery and most discrimination against black people is non-existent. I say most because even though it isn't as severe and accepted as in today's society, it is still going on. In the United States of America, there has been an epidemic of race-related shootings where police, the majority being white, are abusing the power and their authority to brutalize and in many cases target and kill black people. In 2015 alone, police killed at least 102 unarmed black people, nearly twice each week. 1 in 3 black people killed by police were identified as unarmed, though the actual number is likely higher due to unreporting. 37% of unarmed people killed by police were black, despite black people being only 13% of the U.S. population. Also, unarmed black people were killed 5 times the rate of an unarmed white person, and there are still approximately 110 KKK headquarters stationed all across the United States to this day. The article I'm relating the theme of racism in To Kill a Mockingbird to is the shooting of Charles Kinsey in North Miami, United States. Charles Kinsey was a therapist at a group home who was retrieving an autistic patient with a toy truck in the patient's hand when the police received an anonymous call exclaiming that there was a man reloading a gun. When the police showed up, Charles explained the situation and confirmed that the patient was in fact not holding a gun but had a toy truck. By this point, while explaining the situation and simultaneously trying to calm the patient down, he was laying on his back with his hands high above his head. Moments later, he was shot, and when he asked the police officer why he was shot, the police officer replied, "I don't know." In the media, black people are portrayed in a negative light by big corporation news channels like MSNBC and Fox News. These shootings have gained a significant amount of attention, and due to these shootings has sparked the protest and boycotting of black people for black people. A well-known movement is the hashtag Black Lives Matter, who puts out a message that Black Lives matters just as much as yours or mine. The media also has an issue with this movement, demonizing it and describing it as a hate group, and even sparking backlash from primarily white Republicans who try to counteract this movement with hashtag All Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter, when it is clear that most, and if not all, protests involving this movement are peaceful. People today are still being discriminated by color of their skin, as they do in the book. Being treated fairly by authority, prejudice, and ignorance, it is something we as a society and as human beings need to address for the sake of peace in this world.